Okay, I like this one very much. Five Things by Mark Enser, right? In my Flipboard, appearing on May 31. Yeah, today's May 31, right? One day before we go back to our workplace. Five things I had to learn to be a better remote teacher. All right, so I think we ought to remember all these things. So we have remote learning challenges here in the Philippines. One of the remote learning challenges is when students cannot complete the things that are assigned to them, right? So also the same with them, and also I think pedagogy is very much in question here. A lot of teachers now are trying so hard to do online classes, but using the same pedagogy that they are using doing live classes. So I know it's a mismatch, and people don't like it, right? Um, so yeah, I said here that when you're in a room, you're always scanning the class, picking up on who is distracted, who is struggling with the explanation. It's so difficult. In fact, it's almost impossible to do that, on an online class or in a remote class. But you have to do your best. Plus, of course, it cannot be always a synchronous mode of instruction, which is really my thing against most of the online classes that are going on here in the Philippines. I think I would say it again. The reason why most of the supposed online classes of higher education institutions failed, and I would really say that they failed because they tried to do it, but then when the students complained and complained using hashtag no more online classes, whatever that is, using Twitter, using social media, complain about online classes, which is really a wonder for me. Like, they're able to use social media and TikTok and all this stuff, but then they cannot go online in classes. I think I've said this repeatedly in live sessions and also in my YouTube videos, that the main concern of students is aligning with the timing or the schedule of the teachers. So if one teacher goes to class, quote unquote, using synchronous education, all right, presenting for 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, and then another teacher does that. If you do this thing, for 1 hour or 1.5 hours, everybody is on a video conferencing app like Zoom or whatever. The amount of data that is being used by these applications, because everybody is streaming, that is going to drain the resources of the students. And this is just one teacher. What if all 8 teachers are doing the same thing? That's why even the rich people, of course, the rich people can recourse to Wi-Fi or whatever, but the middle class, who's just relying on data, maybe 8 gig, 10 gig, even 30 gig will not suffice. Alright? So really, I've always said that online classes should be about 75%, if not 80% asynchronous. It's like we should focus on what the massive open online courses are doing, the MOOCs. The MOOCs are always your own pace. It's not synchronous, it's asynchronous. And yeah, that's a problem with the Philippines, because we really cannot go beyond treating teachers, monitoring them treating teachers, I said that again, as if they're construction workers. You know, I have to see them working, see them doing this output in order for me to be able to pay them. That is why the learning management system is being converted to a teaching management system. I don't know. So it's called learning management system because the most important thing there are the learners. It is a way, a tool for you, a space for you to monitor learning if it is taking place. But you don't go in there to find out whether the teachers are teaching. Usually the questions of schools are, how can I monitor the teachers if they're actually teaching, right? So it becomes, again, a teacher-centered education. It could not be like that. So for this guy, I forgot his name, Mark Enser, these are the 5 things that should be remembered. Number 1, don't be fooled into thinking that live lessons beat prepared materials. Right. Consider whether all pupils will be able to access a live lessons, particularly what I was saying. In the Philippines, it's also like that. I mean, are they able to access a live session? Or is it better recorded, and then, maybe a watch party will do better. There will be no streaming involved. The data needed in order to view the videos will be much lesser. Focus on the quality of input. As remote learning continues for many people, we will need to introduce them to new ideas. Make use of video clips. See, again, I've not read this, the whole thing. That's why I'm saying that they align to what I was saying. Diagrams and recorded narration from you to give a well-scripted explanation of anything that they haven't encountered before. Usually, you have to prepare the lesson, and they should be hearing your own voice, not a canned voice from, I don't know, even text-to-speech won't work. They have to listen to your own voice, and it has to be a well-scripted explanation. This is also one thing that I want to make clear, which is a problem with the way the education department is looking at all this. Okay, if the live session, prior to the COVID-19 and all that, is for 90 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes, right? The online session should not be for 90 minutes also. It's different. The pedagogy is different. Okay, YouTube understands that. That is why each video clip is only for 10 minutes, because if you prolong the video, they will not, the students, you lose the students. 10 minutes is all there is. Beyond that, you're beating against the wind. No one will listen to you anyway. Okay, number 3, give opportunities for dialogue. One way pupils develop their understanding is through having their ideas challenged and having to justify them. Make use of forums, alright, so discussions. So that is why in my LMS there's always video clip, alright, maybe a do-it-yourself something, a DIY video or something that they can do. And then if it is like a lesson in economics or something that I usually teach my business students, there's always a discussion. What do you think about this? For example, if we are looking at this presentation from this teacher, maybe you will end up with, do you agree with the 5 points? Which of the 5 points did you find very important to you? Which one of the 5 points did you most agree with? Or which one of the 5 points did you not agree with? Right? So those are the important things, because if you don't give them opportunities for dialogue, and this is what Coursera does, right? In a Coursera class, what you would be doing is you would comment on the video uploaded, and then you have to comment on at least 2 or 3 of your classmates' comments. So there is an opportunity for dialogue. If you are not doing that, then you're losing the interest of the students. It will be just a one-way dialogue. It's just, it's more fun if they just watch YouTube videos by themselves. So there's no dialogue. There's no learning if there's no dialogue like that. Give support and feedback. There's always feedback at the end of the tunnel. Consider the problems of the potential barriers that the pupils or the students may have in completing their work. Ask them what they did not understand, what are the things that they find complicated. Remove all the barriers and clarify those areas that makes them more difficult to catch up or cope up. This is especially true for hard concepts already. And me, for example, I'm a math teacher. I'm a data teacher. I'm more of the analysis subjects, and that is why if you miss the students on first step, they won't be around on the second or the third step because you missed them already, and they did not follow already from step one. So always give support and feedback and monitor them. Monitor pupils. Okay. Kind of guess the next item. Monitor pupils' work and hold them to account. Check what work is being completed. This is very important, and what is outstanding, and follow up. So there's always a task, because if you are not going to monitor them and you allow them just to go and proceed as they wish, then it will be a self-paced education, but it is not a remote classroom. It's not anymore a school. Maybe it's a massive open online courses. The MOOCs, you can do that. In Coursera, you can do that. In Udemy, you can do that. In Linda Lectures, you can do that. On Allison courses, you can do that. But in a class, right? In a formal class that is being held now remotely, you should monitor them so that you hold them into account, so that everybody does what is expected of them, but give them enough time, give them enough support, but then you have to hold them to account. But this is very important, this highlight being given to us by a party DUC teacher, Mark Enser, a remote teacher. He has been teaching for 17 years already. So, wow. So this is important for us teachers, and let's hope that we become better teachers and we deliver the lessons better for our learners. Thank you.